Here he is, here's Parish President Amos Cormier III.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming. We wanted to call this press conference just to give an update as to status of our preparations and also the most recent conditions. Yesterday, our Emergency Operations Center, we began meeting in this parish. Preparations and discussions began as of that time for Tropical Storm Gordon. Currently, there is a storm surge watch in effect for the east bank of Plaquemines Parish. That means a 2 to 4 feet storm surge is currently being predicted for the east bank. Our levees there at the lowest point are it's 8 feet high. Most of them are 12 feet high. So please God, we hope that forecast remains and that we won't see any higher storm surge. Our levee system is functional, and we don't expect any problems given this forecast. However, we're also under a tropical storm warning for all of Plaquemines Parish. Winds have been forecast to become 20 to 40 miles per hour. Because of this, and because out of an abundance of caution, and because we may see some power outages, we declared a voluntary evacuation for the east bank of Plaquemines Parish and also from Alliance to Venice. Again, I restate this. It's out of an abundance of caution and because we may have some power outages and Entergy cannot work in any wind speeds of 30 miles or up. The bucket trucks can't go up and fix lines. So anyone who has special needs needs to take this into consideration. We declared a state of emergency earlier this morning, and we want to thank our pump operators and the Plaquemines Parish Fire Department as they will be manning our pump stations all night tonight and as needed tomorrow. All pump stations have been fully refueled and stocked up with fuel to be in continual operations. We are also in the cone of area where much heavy rainfall is expected. A flash flood watch is in effect last time I checked. So because of that, we will be in continual manning operations of those pump stations. The main thing is that the proximity, the nearness of this storm is such that we don't want to let our guard down. Please God, right now we're on the west side of this event. All the forecasts have this storm going into further to our east. Our thoughts and prayers are with people of the Gulf Coast of Mississippi and Alabama and Florida as well. But we hope that this storm does not become a hurricane, that it stays on its current path, and that there's no loss of life or any damage to property.
President Cormier?
Yes.
How do you think the levees, the parish levees, compare now to where they were in 2012 with Hurricane Isaac and some of the problems in Braithwaite and those areas? How do things stand now? What improvements have been made and readiness for this storm?
Thank you for that question, David. Very good question. Plaquemines has invested. We're the parish that's made the second most investments in levees after Terrebonne. Terrebonne has invested more than us, but we've invested a good chunk of money. Our levees are in a much better shape than they were for Isaac. However, the Isaac was, in my humble estimation, was a result of one of those major drastic changes with the Hydra system, because you have the 26-foot wall that came around St. Bernard to the Plaquemines line, and many of the people with whom I've spoken have said that that was the game changer. Just like on the west side, Laplace had never flooded before, and then with the new Hydra system, that water hits the wall and then ran up and flooded Laplace. So Hydra was a game changer for the region, and insofar as how it affects hydrology. We have our levees We've built them up to 12 feet on the east bank, with the one exception of the narrow section of where the Scarsdale pump station is. There's a slight dip there down to 8 feet, but we have them are working to build that up to 12 feet. But as I stated before, currently on the east side, the prediction is 2 to 4 feet, and worst case scenario on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, there have been predictions of up to 5 feet of storm surge. Even with the worst case scenario as predicted now, our levees are more than capable on the east bank of handling that storm surge.
And can you give us any updates on sandbagging? Are there sandbag stations or anything like that?
Yes, we have several places for sandbags. This is self-service, and at the Boothville Venice Fire Department, there are sandbags available. At the Buras Fire Department, at the Empire Shipyard in Boat Harbor, at the Port Suffolk YMCA, and in the Belchess area at the Heavy Equipment by the State School, by State School, and also on 192 Sewer Plant Road by Heavy Equipment. That's also where the dump is. And then on the East Bank, we have by the Prom Shop in Braithwaite. That's the old Edna LaFrance building by the golf course. And also Davant Community Center, as well as we tried to bring some sandbags over by the Braithwaite Community Center Auditorium.
Okay. And just to wrap up, you were making the point about Hisdris and the game changer there. Does that mean that the flood protection that's been installed since Katrina has put you in a worse situation in terms of protection, or what did you mean by that?
I think certainly many people have stated that those inside the wall naturally are better protected, but those outside the wall are at greater risk.
Okay, but it's not like there's new points of access for storm surge that weren't there before because of the flood walls, or is that what you're saying?
No, I was talking about the Isaac scenario that you questioned me on.
Gotcha. But this is not supposed to be like an Isaac. It's not going to be a slow mover that sits directly over Plaquemines.
Please God, it won't be. That's the pace at which this thing is moving is a very good for all of us, from Florida to Louisiana. We hope that continues.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay. If no other questions, thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you very much.
Got a question about that. From our location, where's the closest place we can go swing by and get sandbags?
Right down here,
Right down here outside?
Right down here.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, they're doing it down here too?
right in the corner, right here.
There you go. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. Yeah. They put that up on, I saw that actually on one of the newscasts, and I'm thinking, wait a second, we did.
Yeah, we did. We got 3
There
places.
you go.
Fair enough.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you.
Thank you.
No. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks a lot, Amos. Good to see you.
Y'all gonna come and get some
Jump forward,
video?
good to meet you.
Hold on, I gotta post it. How do I do that?